Good morning and welcome to the Perkins Garage's YouTube channel for an MGZS exclusive walk around video. But before we do get started, if you were enjoying our content, hit on the subscribe button and never miss a minute of us ever again. This here is a Battersea Blue MGZS exclusive featuring the 1.5 litre naturally aspirated Vti-Tech engine, and that engine produces 106 PS of power. That power is then distributed through the front wheels through a 5-speed manual gearbox. The vehicle is registered on a 68 registration, meaning we'll take MG warranty with us until January 2026. The vehicle itself has done just over 26,000 miles now, but like always, I'll get the exact mileage once we're on the dash in a moment. So sit tight and let me walk you around this lovely ZS exclusive. So like always on my walk around videos, the first thing I'm going to do is take us to the near side front bumper and get the remote central locking key out of my pocket. Please note we have a physical key blade on this one. So when we unlock the vehicle, it's going to show you where the indicators are. Sometimes it shows you where the daytime running lights are. Let me show you physically. This little beam around the lamp there is called a daytime running lamp. So when you're driving in normal daytime conditions, they'll have a visible light, visible in all lighting conditions, making sure you're being seen on the road. In there we have some fantastic LED headlights as well. Just below that we have front fog lights, and we can start to make our way around the bumper. So we have that beautiful honeycomb style front MG grille there, which looks lovely with the chrome shrouding around the outside. It really goes with the theme of the vehicle, with the chrome grille. We have the fog lights as well. It's a very aesthetically pleasing vehicle. So coming round now, we can approach the offside front wheels. These are some lovely machine cut alloy wheels. So what does machine cut mean? It means you've got the silver shiny face with the gloss black just behind. So yeah, they're a very attractive wheel indeed. So moving our way upwards slightly, for those of you who are interested in putting a roof box or roof rails on the vehicle, we already have the silver painted roof rails on there as well. So we're going to start to progress around the vehicle now. So I'm going to take myself to the offside rear and I'm going to show you just how beautiful all the bodywork is. Shimmying the camera down nice and slowly. The bodywork is in fantastic conditions. We do have a few paint blemishes that I'm going to highlight to you, just in the interest of honesty. So coming down here on the door, it looks like the previous owner has maybe just touched it against the wall. So we have filled this all in with the MG manufactured touch-in pen. So we have that touched in there. Approaching the offside wheel, I want to talk about the wheels quickly. Another bit of spec that I haven't mentioned. Inside the wheels here, these are TPMS sensors, tyre pressure management system. So if you did have a deflation, you can go onto the dashboard and have a look at your tyre pressures live. So if it did deflate, so when you get it in the morning, it will come up with a tyre pressure light. So it's always handy to know you have a flat tyre. Moving ourselves around the back of the vehicle, we have rear parking sensors, and they are complemented beautifully with a rear view camera. Coming round now, we can see we've got some nice chrome decals at the bottom of the bumper there. We're going to do the exact same for the near side. So starting nice and high up, just going to shimmy the camera nice and slowly down the near side of the vehicle. Wonderful. So coming round now to the near side rear wheel. Rear discs on the ZS exclusive, for those of you who are interested. We do have a ladybird, but I don't think that'll be there when you purchase the vehicle. Coming back down now to the near side front wheel and give you a good look at that as well. So that's the exterior taken care of. Let's have a look inside the boot. So the MG badge here doubles up to be a clasp. But push it forward and pull the bottom upwards, and that gains you entry into the boot. So we have a very large volume boot in the back of these ZS's, perfect for a couple of medium-sized dogs. Or a gazelle, a baby gazelle laid down there, whatever you need to carry. But these are very big boots, so big enough for golf clubs, cricket bags, things like that, fit in there, not a problem. Underneath here we have a space saver spare wheel with all the relevant tools and jacks needed to change the wheel on the side of the road. This floor, actually let me show you this. So you can actually pop this up into the higher position, which is two main advantages of this system. If you're loading heavy objects into the boot, it doesn't give you that lip to bend down with again, so it's nice and high entry point to the boot. Equally, when you fold the seats down, you get a nice flat entry all the way through. So maybe you need to put some goalposts in there maybe, or fishing rods. Very easily done. So that's inside the boot. So let's progress round and have a look inside the rear of the vehicle. So we have 4 electric windows, so every door card has a function for the electric windows. The exclusives comes with a lovely leather door card there, all defined by some lovely grey stitching. Spinning the camera around now, you can see just how much legroom and headspace we have in these vehicles. I like to describe the ZS perfect for all shapes and sizes, because even if you are 6'4", 6'5", 6'7", maybe not 8 foot, but 7 foot, you're not going to be hitting your head. You have a very high roof there, so if you're tall or small, you're going to get yourself comfortable in these vehicles. Again, you can have a full car sitting quite comfortably in these ZS's, not an issue. So looking at the leather at the back there, this is a synthetic leather, again defined by some gorgeous whitey grey stitching. You can see just how padded the seats are on the lower back and the base part there as well. If you were carrying kiddies and required the ISO fixing seats, we have one on the near side rear and one on the offside rear. So clip the kiddie seats in, keeping them nice and secure. So let's have a look inside the front, shall we? Fantastic idea. So the leather continues on the driver's door card, and we also have all 4 window controls with a child lock for the rear as well. Interior locking is found just next to the door handle. Spinning the camera around, we can see the beautiful front driver's and passenger seat there. Again, even more padded than the rears, but it's a very durable, very robust leather. As you can see, it doesn't mark at all. So where this vehicle is a used vehicle, we'll be the first to admit it's a used vehicle, but you know, the leather still looks in very, very good condition for its age. So you can just see that yourself. You've got some really good condition seats. So they are manually adjustable. We have a rear tilt, a height adjustment, and forward and back is just around there. Okay, so I'm just going to jump inside the vehicle. You're going to hear a bit of distortion on my microphone, so please just bear with me for a second. Lovely. Okay, thank you for your patience. So the next point is to get the key into the ignition barrel, further press on the clutch, and wake everything up. I'm just going to dull down the air conditioning a bit, and the radio. There we are. Okay, so sorry about that. So the left hand side of the dashboard we're looking at now is your speedometer, miles per hour around the outside and kilometres an hour in the middle. We have 2 warning signs in there. One is for the handbrake and one is for a seatbelt warning sign, because I don't have my seatbelt on. The right hand side is an RPM gauge. The RPM gauge, if you didn't know, it counts the revolutions of the crankshaft times 1000, and that is ultimately the output power of the engine. In the middle we have the driver display there, so we can control that driver display using the arrows on the right hand side of the steering wheel. So let me just show you some of the features we can see on here. So going right, we can get into different trip computers, like so. Beautiful. And you've got your digital fuel gauge on there as well. So currently I have 60 miles left in there. Instantaneous fuel gauge, you can click on this one here and go through different menus. So we have the tyre pressures. So like I previously mentioned, you can see the tyre pressures live. And yes, the rears are meant to be slightly less than the fronts. Traction control on and off. We have a return button there as well. And we also have speed warning signs. So if you do get to 140 miles an hour, it might bib at you. So that's around the driver display. I mentioned earlier I'd get you the exact mileage, and it's slightly more than just over 26, so we're looking at 26,852. To the left of it, where the N is, that is for your gear selector indicator. So currently in neutral, but when you do get into an appropriate rev range, it will actually give you an arrow to suggest changing up or down the gear. Okay, so let's lose the zoom quickly, and I'm just going to put my seat back a little bit, because I'm quite a tall lad, and show you around the steering wheel. So it's a very nice multi-format steering wheel here. So again, the right hand side, is the arrows to control the screen. Below it we have a voice command button, and we also have a star, which is a programmable button. We might come to that in a second. The voice command button is fantastic when you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, because what it does, you can activate your voice assistant. So for example, I'm an iPhone user, so that enables me to use Siri. So when I'm using Siri, I can ask it to do a whole range of tasks whilst I'm driving along. So if I receive a text message, for example, it will read it back to me. Then I can also speak my reply back to it. If I need to make a phone call, I just simply say, Siri, call home. I need to set navigation. Siri, take me home. But it's a very simple thing to use whilst being hands-free on your phone. The left hand side is where you'll find all of your volume and media controls. So we have a volume up and down, we have a mute button in the middle, and we have a previous and next song function. Just below it, again, if your phone was connected via Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or even Bluetooth, we enable this phone button. So if someone was making a phone call to you, you can pick up or decline the phone call respectively. The SRC button, that changes the source to the media display. It's not HP or red source. Oh no. For example, if you're using your radio, click that button and then it will change to your CarPlay music, for example. So that's a bit about the steering wheel. If I just rock the steering wheel downwards quickly, that exposes two more levers. Obviously this is the indicator stalk, as you would expect, and this is where you'll find your auto light function there as well, and the fog lights are found in the middle. Just below that, this is your cruise control. So I'm a massive fan of where this position is on the ZS. I've used it many a times. I've driven lots of miles in ZS's around the country on various training courses in my time, and I think it's fantastic. Simply pull the lever towards you, click the button at the end, that will set your speed. For example, 60 miles per hour, we've just set our speed to. I want to go 65, knock it upwards. I want to go back down to 60, knock it downwards. Now I'm at 60, actually I want to go 62 miles an hour. So just hold the lever upwards and that will increase in increments of 1. Now I want to go back down to 60. Decreases in increments of 1 mile an hour. So it's a very user-friendly system and a very ergonomic place to have it just by your left knee. So big fan of that. Just push it away from you once you're done with it as well. Okay, progressing the video into the center console, we have the 5-speed selector shifter. In front of it there is a button, let me just focus, my apologies, is a button there to turn on and off the automated stop start. So I know some of you are not a fan of the engine cutting out, saving you a bit of fuel at a junction. So what you'll do, just click that button and the engine will remain running. In the little cubby hole there is where you'll find a USB-A port and a 12-volt socket, so perfect for charging those phones up. But again, if you're taking advantage of the Apple CarPlay, you'd plug your phone in down there, and again that will then connect to your phone. Just above that you'll find your heating, ventilation and air conditioning controls. If I can just lower the brightness, maybe you'll be able to see it a bit better. There we are. We have temperature rocker to the left hand side with fan speed rocker to the right hand side. In the middle, on the bottom parader buttons, we have different flows of vents. You can change it between your face and feet, your feet and the screen and feet. At the top we have either side, we have a front demist, a rear demist, and the ice frost is for your air conditioning. Did I just say ice frost? Well, that's new to everyone. Then we also have a recirculation button there as well. So that's around the heating, ventilation controls. Coming upwards, this is the complete colour touchscreen infotainment module. So the little tiles are very easy to navigate. So once you've driven it a while, you know exactly what colour tile does which. For example, the orange top left is for your media. So your radio is all found there. DAB, FM, AM, Bluetooth, CarPlays, you've got it. Below, and the blue one, is your phone functions. If you weren't using Apple CarPlay, connect your phone via Bluetooth and that's where you'll find your phone. So you're able to download your phone book, your recent call history, and even have a keypad there as well when you're stationary. The bottom two you might not be using so often, but it's videos and pictures. You can plug a USB stick in with that formatted video or pictures on and view them on the screen. The right hand bottom is for your navigation, so click on that and we have a very good navigation system. But don't forget, if you're not a fan of the MG navigation system, with Apple CarPlay, you can use your Apple Maps or even Waze as well. And we have the Apple CarPlay widget and the setup widget there. Another really lovely feature for this ZS exclusive is the car settings. So if you click on the car, it will take us into comfort and convenience. So we have follow me home, which is effectively it will leave the headlights on for a period of time just whilst you're getting to your front door so you can see what you're doing. And we have find my car, so double click on the lock button when you're in a car park if you can't remember where you parked it, and that will flash the lights and sound the horn. I got there in the end. In other, this is where you'll find your steering wheel star button that I mentioned earlier. You can program that to be your CarPlay button, car settings, or even a home button. At the moment, the home button is the silver one in the middle of the volume. That'll take you back to square one. This vehicle features an electronic steering rack, so if you was to click on the driving and maintenance, you can change between 3 individual steering modes, whether it's urban, normal, or dynamic. In urban, the steering wheel gets really light, so if you're floating around in a town or a city, you can throw the steering around. Not a problem in normal, it's quite a standard feeling. In dynamic, which is personally my favourite, It adapts to your road speed, so the slower you're going, the lighter the steering shall be. But then you get yourself on a motorway, the road speed sensors, the wheel speed sensors pick up you're going faster, and it will stiffen the steering up, giving you more control at higher speeds. So yeah, big fan. Very easy to use, very easy. I'm going to leave you. We can pop it into reverse. We have the rear reversing camera and proximity sensors to the left hand side. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. Any information you might need, please do call the sales team on 01376 550 899. Please subscribe, like, and if you have any lovely comments, leave them below. Bye bye for now.